Welcome back. How does it feel?
Oh, it's absolutely massive. It's just good to sort of be back in the squad now, and I was really excited once selected into the squad, and it's just about now just sort of taking everything that we've developed throughout the Six Nations, taking into the summer tour now.
How frustrating? Excuse me. How frustrating have the last few months been for you? You obviously got into the side, and then injury put you pretty much straight back out of it.
Yeah, I think it was massively frustrating at the time, but it just comes to the territory of playing the sport. It's a pretty hard sport, but it was pretty frustrating at the time. But I was still quite well tuned in with the team. I sort of was in camp throughout the Six Nations, so from a knowledge point of view, I was able to sort of take a step back, but still sort of understand where we were going as a team. And once I've obviously now got a bit of form going into the end of the season and into camp now, I'm just sort of trying to get myself into the best physical and mental shape. Sort of going into the test, and if I'm selected, I'm sure I'd give myself the best chance to perform well.
Was this tour always the aim for you when you were going through all that rehabilitation, trying to get back? Did you always have this tour of New Zealand in mind?
Yeah, certainly. I think first and foremost, I was just trying to get myself back fit as quickly as possible, and there was a chance for me to get back fit for the last two games. But the team were playing really well at the time, and players putting hand up and playing pretty well. So from that point of view, I wasn't needed. But I knew once I got back to my club, I just need to sort of find some form. It's always sometimes a bit difficult when you come back from injury to sort of get back to your best as soon as possible. But fortunately in the last 2-3 games of the season, I was able to do that. And I feel back to myself, and just it's about now just sort of buying into what we're trying to do as a team, and buying into the whole England ethos and everything, and hopefully moving into the tour, I can sort of show what I'm about.
And Stuart Langster, as we know, is big on culture and ethos. How was it being in camp but being unable to play? He clearly is keen to make injured players such as yourself, as you were, a real part of things. Make sure you don't feel left out at all.
Yeah, it was massive. It sort of kept me tuned in with everything, and sort of from a personal point of view, I think it's helped massively, because coming into camp now, I'm pretty much know everything that all the boys who were playing, and I was sort of shed a journey for him along the way as well. So that's pretty massive. But he's always said being injured, you still got to support the boys, and at the end of the day, it's about England. It's not about any sort of individual. So it's about sort of helping and encouraging the boys, whilst also helping them with knowledge and things that you see that you think they can improve on as well.
Jack Nowell and Johnny May were starting wings throughout the Six Nations. Jack is obviously injured now and won't be going. Chris Ashton back to form as well. What do you see the wing situation being at the moment?
I don't know. I think from first and foremost for Jack, it's really disappointing. I was pretty much in the same boat with him, before Six Nations, so I know it's probably massively frustrating for him to miss out. And Chris as well, he's done real well this season. He's been on top form for Saracens. He's obviously a top player as well, so it's good to see him going well. It just shows the strength and depth that the England squad has got now. There's so many talented guys, and it's about trying to fight for your spot really.
You've been to New Zealand before on tour?
Yeah, I went with my school when I was 16 and 17, so really enjoyed it out there. It's a massively cool country, and it's one I'm really looking forward to sort of returning to. How
did you get on?
I think we won most of our games out there. Obviously, it's a completely different challenge now. It's not schoolboy rugby, unfortunately. It's completely different now. But I know New Zealand's a massively passionate nation, and they really get behind their team. So we know it's a massive challenge, but we're going to prepare as well as we can for this test, and we know we're going to go into a tough game, but we're well prepared, so we're ready to go.
You've had success in New Zealand, but not many touring England sides have in the past. It is the biggest challenge in world rugby, isn't it?
Yeah, they're a massively talented side, and they've done pretty well. I think they've only lost one game in the last 2 years, so I think from a historical point of view, their sort of record speaks for itself. So we're under no illusion. It's a tough game, but we respect them as a team. But at the same time, we're sort of concentrating on ourselves, and we trained pretty hard over the last few weeks, and we're going to be going to the game well prepared, and we know what we need to do to sort of get the result that we're looking for.
How vital is it for this England team to perform well, considering the World Cup is getting ever closer?
It's massive. We want to build momentum, build continuity, and looking to the World Cup now. We know it's only around the corner. It's probably another year. So this time next year, we're pretty much going to be into the warm-up game. So it's absolutely massive for us. But it's very important that we don't look too far ahead. We've got to take it game by game, and it's about the first test really coming up in Auckland.
For yourself, having been sort of out of the England team for so long due to injury, does it feel like almost making your debut all over again?
I wouldn't get as far as saying that. It hasn't felt too far away, but yeah, I mean it's only been sort of 6 months or so, and yeah, I'm really excited to sort of get myself back out there and playing in English shirt again. It's obviously a massive honour, and it's one I'm really proud of.
One slightly different one. You're a huge QPR fan, aren't you? You're in the books as a youngster. Must have enjoyed the weekend.
Yeah, I actually went along to the game, and yeah, my celebrations were pretty erratic when we scored that last minute goal. But yeah, it's massively awesome, and yeah, I can't wait to see him in the Premiership next year.
You managed to get a ticket then, you managed to get there?
Yeah, I did, yeah, and the atmosphere was electric. I actually thought on the day we probably didn't deserve to win the game, but as cruel as sport is, if you take your chances, you win games, don't you?